Hello there, Tyrant here, and I just finished watching episode 5 of After the Rain. And so we kind of finally got kind of a softer episode. I feel like the first four episodes were really like intense, and that was good. It kind of pulled you into the story, and I really enjoyed that. So having this little bit softer episode with still showing emotion, kind of made it so it doesn't feel so forced all the time, and I, I think it worked really well. Plus, showing a little bit more, kind of, how do I explain this? Uh, a slightly different side of Tachibana, I would say. I'll explain that in a little bit. But once again, this show's artwork and score is like always done really well, and I'm really surprised sometimes what they can do to make it look and sound so beautifully, with the tones and everything. So props to that this episode about that. So let's split this into two parts. So the first part, Yuto, I think that's the name of the son. Comes to goes to the restaurant to see dad and show him his hamster. We'll talk about the hamster in a little bit. And his dad's not working, so they go to his place. So we get to see Mr. Mondo's house or apartment, is that right? I think his apartment, anyways, his home. And it's really interesting, and it's he's gone for a moment, so it's just Yuto and Tachibana just kind of there with the hamster, and just little things. If you take little notes, you get to see a little bit of what Mr. Mondo, I think that's his name. I gotta figure that. A little bit of his character by his place. He's traditionally just your average man. He's just kind of just living on his own at this point, and but we do see that he's trying to improve as a manager, trying to be a good manager with all those self-help books, also those little magic tricks like spot on there. But what we see through a crack that Tachibana peeks out, what I speculate is that he's trying to be a writer, or was trying to become a writer. We did not get any confirmation, but that's what it feels like. And for a man who says that he doesn't have any dreams, that seems odd. But you get this very interesting scene where she finally shows up, and because being hiding away, I can only imagine how long you can be hiding in the closet. Yeah, I think it was in the closet. Uh, well, everything. How hot does it? Oh, this was a hot day from what I remember. But anyways, or a very hot and humid day because it ended up raining. But overall that was a wonderful scene. Second half, so he so Mr. Mondo ended up having to take care of the hamster. So all right, but thanks to this hamster, apparently everyone has ever owned a hamster. Well, technically, I also owned hamsters when I was younger. But anyways, apparently this hamster, Subu, I think that's his name. The name of the hamster, it raises the popularity of Mr. Mondo significantly a lot, and that's the talk of the restaurant, and it's really fun to see that. It's like he has everyone's attention, and it's really funny that he makes the notion that of he makes the notion of, like, why did I buy all these self-help books when all I needed was a hamster, right? But no, it's funny that just the change of atmosphere really changed it up, the how everyone viewed him. Because if you remember in the first couple episodes, even they made a callback to this, but everyone's kind of always been not truly negative, but they did have negative comments about Mr. Mondo. But but with this the whole hamster fiasco, like I have no idea why it just literally raised his whole personality tenfold. Um, and but during this thing when he's like just kind of chatting away with his coworkers, um, and we get this outburst. Like I was saying, this is a different side of Tachibana, a little bit, or a deeper side of Tachibana. Just goes on an outburst because he's kind of losing. What's the best way to put it? Some personal time with him, like one-on-one time, because not everyone wants to talk to him, and she wants to be the one talking to him, which is understandable. But you know that little outburst, like, it's something like you want to see, you know, and that's why I said it's a little bit calmer. Like it's not too intense of an episode. It's very sweet, a good progression and thing, um, and I feel like it works for this episode. Um, I'm also glad that they didn't truly bring up some of the events from last episode. The whole what's the guy's name? The blonde hair guy's name. No disdain. I could have seen a level of disdain being done, but it was pretty not there, which worked because you don't want to show that in a work environment. You know, that's kind of it's kind of a rule of thumb. You know, don't bring personal stuff to the workplace and back and forth. Unless you're like very comfortable with the coworker and stuff, you know. But you know, I that was fine enough. But you know, it's very for the most part, it was a very overall great episode, for being a calmer one because we did see how Tachibana just still is infatuated with him, and a little bit more that Mr. Mondo kind of still is like surprised that she's still interested in him. He thought he kind of just like blew it, but honestly, now I'm wondering what's going to happen. Uh, yeah, because I could kind of cheat and read the manga, but like the studio's doing a really good job with the artwork and the music and the score. Like I'll just pace myself and enjoy it. But yeah, so I'll leave it at that. Those are kind of just my thoughts of this episode. So yeah, all right. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.